As a part of a rural assignment, we were taken to a beautiful village along the Western Ghats, a budding windmill farm. This village is home to a varied ethnic group who, despite all the technology and development, still stick on to the old way of life. Having lost most of their farmland to the windmills, this village is host to a variety of occupations majorly identified with specific castes reflecting on their settlement pattern, with the Adi Travidor, Devar, Kolalar, and Asaris residing separately in a community of their own. It's dawn when we start exploring, and we are welcomed by the sight of women painting columns. That's when we chance upon one very different from the rest. On inquiring, we find out it's a special day for the Deva community. The Deva community is identified mostly by the women who make beadis for a living, while the male counterparts work for daily wage labor in nearby farms. Over time, beadi making has also become a pastime for the women, with many of them sitting together, gossiping, and making beadi. The Devas have their own community temple where the priest conducts rituals only twice a week, which explains the Kavi kolam unique to this community. Community temples are a common tradition to all the communities of the village. The very entrance to the Kulala community is marked by their temple. The Kulala community welcomes us with a sea of pots, all ready to be burnt in the kiln. The Kulalas have been potters for generations together and still continue to do so. While the men make pots, the women beat them into shape. Once the pots are made, they are dried in the sun for about 2 to 4 days before they are ready to be burnt in the kiln. The pots are arranged outside the common kiln. The families take turns to burn their pots. Before the pots are arranged, they are sprayed with a special lime solution to ward off the evil eye. The burning of pots becomes a social event of sorts, with families helping out each other in arranging and marking the pots. The pots are then arranged inside the kiln and are burnt for about 5 to 6 hours. Once they are completely burned, they are transported to other locations to be sold. In contrast to this busy environment, there lies another kiln just opposite to this one, all forgotten and slowly slipping into ruins. The Glaze Pottery Society was started in 1984. However, due to the lack of government funds, it had to be closed in the year 2002. Currently, it's in a state of dysfunction, and unless revived soon, it could go into a situation where it can no longer be put into any productive use. Moving on from the Potters community, we walk down the road a further bit and we enter the Asari community. Here too, the first thing we saw was the community temple. The Asaris were in a festive mood too and had made a pongal offering to the deity. As they served the community people the prasadam, they offered us some too. The Asaris are basically carpenters who also make cane furniture. However, these occupations are at a risk of becoming extinct due to the increased migration rate among these people. The Asaris have a unique concept of family temples. Located behind homes and hardly noticeable, these family temples are the private abode of family deities. Another thing that is unique to the Asaris is the post office. Unlike any other community, the Asaris have a public building inside their private community space, which is open to all the castes and communities without any exclusion. However, today the Adi Travidors have been able to break the caste shackles and have become one of the strongest and biggest communities in the village. The women of this community are often seen peeling and drying tamarind, which are later sold to the shops. These women have taken to selling tamarind because most of their farmland has been lost due to the windmills. The windmill construction took up most of their natural water resources, creating an acute water problem in this village. The people also relate their water problem to an earthquake, which changed the potable water to salt water.
போர் தண்ணி வந்து எங்க வீட்ல எல்லாம் போர் இருக்கு, நல்ல தண்ணியா இருந்தது. 10-15 வருஷம் நாங்க அதுல தான் எல்லாம் செஞ்சோம். இப்போ வந்து அந்த தண்ணி ஒண்ணுக்குமே ஆகாம போயிடுது.
When we spoke to another elderly person, we were able to understand that the caste differences in this village are pretty strong, with different communities having lots of
இந்த
differences.
ஊர்ல நாங்க பார்த்தோம், இந்த தேவர்லாம் தனியா, வேளாண்லாம் தனியா
ஆமா
அப்படின்னு இருக்காங்க. ஏன் அப்படி இருக்காங்க?
என்ன ஏன் அப்படி இருக்காங்க ஒன்றும் வளர்க்க சொல்ல
This despite the fact that they share a few resources like the school together. The Indian Primary School was started in the year 1945. It is a government-aided school and the children are provided with midday meal schemes. One another place that is common to all communities is the ration shop located on the main road. The main road brings all these different people, split by different communities, to coexist together as one village, Thenpothai. It's dusk and it's time for us to leave this beautiful civilization behind. Unaware, normal life continues.